again with another review. A bit quicker than I expected, to be honest, because I only put on the werewolf one yesterday. And I'm back with another one now, and as promised, it's will be one of my zombie films. Now, I've got quite a lot of zombie films to go through, and all here. So, seeing as I've got quite a lot, I'll probably split this up into 2 videos. And I've got quite a lot of the well-known ones. I don't have any of the Lucio Fulci zombie films. And I don't have any of the remakes of any of George Romero's films. So I have none of those. So I don't have the remakes of Night of the Living Dead or any of that. But anyway, I'll start with the review. And these reviews will be of the George Romero films, for the classic ones. And this will be from this Box of the Dead, which contains all of his first five films. We are the dead and we're coming for you! We are the dead and we're coming. The first of George Romero's zombie films, and the one film that I think sort of set up the whole thing of the Hollywood zombie, or what has now been called the Hollywood zombie, was done in 1968, I think. I think it was 1968. Yeah. With George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Now, this film was shot in black and white. There was a colour version done, but it's not as creepy. And I don't own that version on DVD. But it wasn't as creepy, I didn't think, because the black and white version was more suspenseful and a bit more creepy. And to be honest, this was a good film. I mean, I didn't like it as some of the others in the series, but it was a good movie. Basically, a couple, I think they're brother and sister, or boyfriend and girlfriend, I can't remember what they were, go to a graveyard to say goodbye to their parents, I think, or one of their parents, who is buried in the graveyard. And then the girl's like getting creeped out by the graveyard, and so one of the guys goes, "There's zombies around," and he goes, "Look, here comes one now." And they turn around and see a guy hobbling across the graveyard. And it was really quite funny, that bit. It's like, "They're coming to get you, Barbara," and it seemed quite funny. And then the zombie attacks him, and it actually is a real zombie. And the girl runs and finds a farmhouse. And then this black guy comes to join her, and he's got a rifle. And they think they're the only 2 people there, so they start barricading themselves in. And then they find that there's a whole family, 4 other people living in the basement, and they come up and nearly attack them, because they think that these two people are zombies. But then they find that they're not zombies and they're completely fine. But the girl was unconscious down in the basement. Their little girl was unconscious down in the basement. And then the zombies start attacking them, and there's more and more start coming and coming and coming, until eventually the house still gets overwhelmed almost by zombies. It was a good film. It was a good film. I mean, I liked it. The only bad thing was that everyone, all the characters, all die. You know, it was sort of like, and just because that one guy at the end, that one black guy, was just shot almost because he was black. And that's just so racist, in my opinion. Booger Boy Meister said the same thing when he did his reviews of these films a few weeks ago. However, the special effects were good. I mean, for the time anyway. Not good in terms of modern special effects, but good for their time. And I recommend it's a very good watch. Fairly good watch. For you, we are the dead, and we're coming for you because we are. Then, after a decade, George Romero came back with his second bash at zombies, Dawn of the Dead, the legendary Dawn of the Dead. I like this one. This was a good one. I like this one. It wasn't. I didn't think it was the best, still, but it was certainly. I think it's my second favourite out of the entire series, and it was a great movie. Basically, these people hide themselves out in a shopping mall. This was done at a time when shopping malls were all indoor, or just starting to come out. There wasn't really that many around, and these people holed up. And that was a really good film. Luckily, the people survived. Two people survived at the end, including the one black guy in it, which was great. no racism there. He wasn't killed because he was black. And it was a good film. You know, I liked it. It was certainly a good one. The special effects were this was the starting effects by Tom Savini, the legendary Tom Savini, who's done a lot of horror special effects. This was one of his first ones. Dawn of the Dead was the one that really sparked his career. And eventually, it was Tom Savini actually says that it was Dawn of the Dead that ended up with him doing the special effects for the first Friday the 13th. And then he did the third George Romero film, Day of the Dead, which I'll get on to in a minute. And it was a really good film. So, watch just gone off. So, check it out. Just check it out. It was a great film and certainly worth watching. The only thing I would say about it is that the version I've watched anyway is a bit long. It's about... it's just slightly over 2 hours. Which is a bit slightly long for a horror film, but you know, they spread it out quite well, and it was pumped up with action and stuff. So check it out. Good movie. Then 7 years after making Dawn of the Dead, in 1985, George A. Romero made a new film, Day of the Dead. This, I think, was my favourite film out of the entire series. Tom Savini came back to do the special effects and perfected the special effects that he'd done in Dawn of the Dead. And I thought they were spectacular. Great gore effect. This film, when I first saw it, actually has the one gore scene, I think in any movie, that's actually made me go on, oh, like, you. And that was the scene where the one guy ends up getting ripped apart, and then one of the zombies does that and rips his head off. That was the one scene in the one movie up until that point that made me go, oh. But I loved this film. Basically, in this film, a group of people, scientists, are hiding down in a base underneath the ground, and they use the caves to collect zombies because there are zombies down in the cave. And they grab the zombies and they take them to this doctor who does loads of experiments on them, and showing that they don't need anything else apart from the brain in order to survive. You know, you could take out every single organ on this zombie and it would still be alive. You could take out every organ apart from its brain and it would still survive. The only thing that's keeping it alive is its brain. And then he shows them a new breakthrough he's done. A zombie called Bub, or Bud. I can't remember which one it was. It was Bub or Bud. It was about the same. But he's an actually intelligent zombie and was a soldier before he got infected. And he funnily actually remembers stuff from when he was alive. I mean, he salutes to people. And he knows how to use objects. He's the smartest zombies, and he can actually use a gun. And he actually shoots someone in this. And the zombie shoots someone. That was quite funny. And this was my favourite out of the lot. I think it's because it was more from the military science side of things, and they were explaining how the zombies were doing this, and also the gore effects were good, and they sort of all worked. So, yeah, this was a great film. Great gore effects, great story, and you should all check it out. Any zombie fan, I don't think any zombie fan has missed this one. So, check it out if you haven't seen it. And if you have seen it, I'd like to hear your comments.